Now why for this life, oh, now so palava. I tire for this problem, I tire for life, oh. Guinea, no work, no food, no house, no life. This small water, then they bring.
June 12 remains indelible in Nigerians' history, symbolizing the struggle for democracy and justice. The 1993 presidential election, which saw Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola emerge as the clear winner, was a landmark event reflecting the aspirations of Nigerians for free and fair governance. The subsequent annulment by the military sparked widespread protest and highlighted citizens' desire for change.
It is true that the presidential election was generally seen to be free, fair, and peaceful. However, there was in fact a huge array of electoral practices virtually in all the states of the Federation before the actual voting began.
This date serves as a poignant reminder of the sacrifices made for Nigerians' democratic journey and the ongoing fight against oppression.
It is incredible. In view of all this, I find the conclusion unfortunate but inescapable that the federal military government is guilty of bad faith, pure and simple. No one has accused me of any offense against any known electoral law or regulation. The people of this country went to polls on Saturday, June 12, 1993, and without let or hindrance chose me as their president. Didn't they?
It embodies the quest for accountability, good governance, and the protection of human rights. June 12 has been widely discussed, with many calling for successive governments to recognize Moshood Abiola as the duly elected president before former President Muhammad Buhari took a significant step in 2018, declaring the day as Democracy Day in honor of Abiola and posthumously bestowing upon him the highest national honor, GCFR. His vice presidential running mate, Babangana King Ibe, received the GCON honor.
On behalf of the federal government, I tender the nation's apology to the family of late MKO Abiola, who got the highest vote, and to those that lost their loved ones in the cause of June 12 struggle.
Yet, the man behind the annulment, Ibrahim Babangida, has largely remained silent on the matter, leading many Nigerians and the global community to express dissatisfaction with his lack of accountability. Fast forward to 32 years later, Ibrahim Babangida launched his biography and brought light on the events surrounding June 12. A gathering of former military leaders, president and political figures eagerly anticipated the revelations within the book.
I don't have to remind you how much I nagged you in your own interest, in the interest of your offsprings, and for posterity to write, to tell what, why, when, where, and how.
He concludes in the book, and I quote him, "Looking back now, the June 12th saga was undeniably the most challenging moment of my life, and in certain respects, one of the most painful." And he went on to admit, if I had to do it all over again, I will do it differently.
Babangida finally came forward, accepting full responsibility for the annulment.
Undoubtedly, credible, free and fair elections were held on June 12, 1993. However, the tragic irony of history remains that the administration that devised a near-perfect electoral system and conducted those near-perfect elections could not complete the process. That accident of history is most regrettable. The nation is entitled to expect my impression of regret. As the leader of the military administration, I accept full responsibility for all decisions taken under my watch.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu capped the event, offering his own reflections after Babangida's statement.
The joy of being alive today, 32 years after, to give us an account of stewardship, service. Your Excellencies, it is very difficult to find the array of people that are present here, if not because of your personality, character, and impact on our people.
However, following the book launch, criticism have emerged regarding the contents, with many viewing it as a misunderstanding or misrepresentation of facts.
Basharu Abiola won the June 12, 1993 presidential election, the freest and fairest in this country. Thank God Babangida has confessed his sins, but what about the millions, thousands of lives lost, businesses destroyed?
Nigerians continue to urge Babangida to stop politicizing June 12, questioning the authenticity of his account, especially since many involved are now deceased.
I've read it from the beginning to the end, and there were a lot of events, eventualities, and situations that were recollected in the work. He spoke about the death of Delegiwa. He spoke about the execution of his childhood friend, Maman Vasta, and equally he spoke about the different coups he had engaged in and those that were planned about him, and ultimately he spoke about the June 12 election. And ultimately, I would say it is a memoir that is written based on deflections. Yes, he deflected a lot of things. He even shoved blame on General Sani Abacha as the one who was behind the annulment of the June 12 elections. Yeah, he eventually actually accepted the faults because everything happened under his watch.
The tragic fate of Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola, whose life was cut short in the fight for his people's emancipation, looms large over this narrative.
We're not happy with it because when you look at it and said he did it for national interest, which is my interest, he spent a lot of money building party offices all over the place. Before we got to option A4 and the open ballot, there were a lot of other programs that he brought up. You know, money spent to that, they were cancelled and annulled. At a point, Yar'Adua wanted to become the president. They said they were banned. The people need to come up. You know, a lot of games that they played then, and a lot of lives that were lost. I am thinking that he's coming to say he regretted it. Even if he has said he's sorry, he's apologizing, I don't think it should be enough.
And unfortunately, those that annulled it knew what they were doing, that they were doing it for their own interest, not Nigeria's interest. So whatever it is that President Badamasi Babangida is coming out to say now that there is a national interest, I doubt if it is a national interest. It's the interest of himself, the Sani Abacha he has been referring to, because this time around he has mentioned names, and we can refer to those names and tell them that they had done the worst injustices to Nigerians, to the southwestern Nigeria, to President MKO, because I'll call MKO Abiola president.
With Babangida acknowledging Abiola's June 12 victory, questions now arise about whether Abiola's family should receive presidential benefits. This question could hang for response for a very long time.
I won. The country knows how busy and how otherwise occupied I've been all my life. Knowing fully well the misfortune of other distinguished Nigerians in the recent past, I made the wildest possible consultation and sought assurances that I would not be chasing shadows. These assurances were given, in some cases from the highest level of government. I consulted the president himself, and he gave the assurance himself that this time around he was serious. I was therefore convinced that the commitment to civilian rule come August 27, 1993